Hello.
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 Hi, welcome back
to the Cricket Nerds podcast.
Well, it's kind of weird. I'm out of my depth. We're not talking about the IPL for the first time in I don't even know how long. This is the Cricket Nerds talk about England cricket. Basically, there's been quite a lot that's gone on, and we've just chatted about the IPL because we said we'd do daily content on the IPL, and we have. But we'll do a mega episode tomorrow. But there's been so much that's happened in English cricket that we'd be remiss as a cricketing nerd channel if we didn't address some of it. So we'll just go through some of the key points. First of all, Brendan McCullum has been appointed the head coach of the England red ball side. So I guess going back a little bit, Rob Key was appointed MD, and he's decided that he's going to split the two roles of coach between red ball and white ball, which I personally think makes sense. And yeah, Baz McCullum, who a lot of our viewers will know as the head coach of Kolkata Knight Riders, is going to be our red ball coach. So it's quite a different role for him. Zach, I'd like to get your first impression of Brendan McCullum, the red ball coach for England.
Well, we spoke about it briefly in one of our episodes when someone asked a question about what we thought about it. And my initial reaction was mixed because on one hand, I feel like he is someone who would be more suited to the white ball game, given his approach to the game, given his leadership skills for New Zealand as the white ball captain. But at the same time, his test record is incredible. Like, he's got a high score of 300 and something. He's played over 100 test matches, and he was one of the reasons why New Zealand ended up coming back from quite a bit of a low themselves. So he's definitely got the skills to play to manage England well in the test format. And then I think what will be good is because he understands the white ball game really well, that will help him in managing or co-running England with the white ball coach, because they need to have a good relationship. So he understands the importance of balancing the formats, given that New Zealand are now one of the best teams in both white ball and red ball. So I'm expecting big things, as you have to be positive. So yeah, overall happy with Brendan McCullum. Benj, thoughts?
Again, I've not changed my mind since we talked about it like last week on the pod. Like, I think it'll be good. Like, it's something new. People are worried and saying, "Oh, he's never coached a red ball game before." But like, look, it's something new. Like, clearly, this classic red ball coach hasn't been working for us. And as you say, he's built a New Zealand team that is like fantastic and are the best team in the world at the minute. Maybe except for India, we can debate that. But I think first impression, yeah, great. But then we can't cast a judgment until we see him in action. So we see him in this first test against New Zealand. I am interested, though, that we've now got a Kiwi as our head coach, a Kiwi as our captain, and probably going to be an Aussie as our white ball coach, if you saw the news that came out today, which means that we're going to go from being South Africa A team in 2013 to New Zealand and Australia A team now. So we're going to start seeing all the people coming over from Australia getting their British passports and playing for us. But we've just mentioned it. Ben Stokes is going to be the New England captain. That's pretty much old news now. I think, again, we thought about that. I think it was the obvious decision. I think Root's captaincy had come to a natural end. And he looks in really good form in the county championship. He blasted Worcestershire, scored 162 and hit 16 sixes. So what do you think, James, specifically about the Ben Stokes captaincy era?
I think it could be quite an exciting one. It's reason to be cheerful as an England fan. Don't get me wrong, and don't get overexcited. We will lose many test matches to come. But I think the combination of having Ben Stokes, who is quite an aggressive player by his nature, being coached by Brendan McCullum, who he's attritional. He was as a player, but he's someone that likes aggression. You know, that was his mantra. He also likes mystery spin. So maybe Matt Parkinson will get a go. And then we've also got Rob Key, who likes people to play with positive intent. So I see England playing a bit more of an interesting form of cricket, less defensive maybe, less Sibley. So, you know, but we'll see how it goes. Could be interesting. Zach just put a little comment.
I'm going to disagree with you because
our little
Brendan
chat,
McCullum
in
was
our
the
chat.
furthest thing from attritional ever. He hit the record fastest 100 in
He
in
also
a test match.
he also spent like 13 hours at a crease when he got his 300. Was it 300? 200? 300?
He scored, he scored a
yeah.
triple 100, but like
His triple ton, he stuck it out. So I will not have a word said about Brendan McCullum because he, while yes, he was a very aggressive player, in a similar way to Stokes, he had the ability to dig in and spend long times at the crease, same as Stokes. So I think we've got a captain and coach there that they're big personalities, so they could, you know, tell each other when they disagree, but they also have quite a similar mindset to the game, and I think that could work quite well for England, and hopefully that'll bleed into everybody else. Like
Anyway,
injured
should we get
bowlers.
on to talking about the county championship, because that has been going on, and I feel like it is going to have prepared England's players a lot better for the Test summer than previous years have, recent previous years, because England are going to be playing on the 2nd of June, and all the county championship matches have run up perfectly to that. I think there's like a week window before the final county championship game of the first round, I guess, and then the test match is starting. And it's meant that a lot of England's players have had a go. Pretty much all of England's players have had a go. Zach Crawley's been playing a lot, even though he hasn't done very well.
Listen, horribly.
Joe Root's been playing, James Anderson's been playing, Stuart Broad's been playing, Ben Stokes, as we've said, has been playing, and they've all had a go. And we've seen things that we've expected. For example, Ollie Pope scoring lots of runs for Surrey at a flat pitch at the Oval.
At the Oval.
Yeah. And we've seen some things which we haven't expected, which have been very good signs. For example, Harry Brook.
Oh,
He looks awesome.
he's
looks really
very
good.
exciting.
I think he's only scored one innings that has been less than 50 this season, which is already quite impressive. But then I think the thing that I found most impressive was the last game that Yorkshire played against Lancashire. Lancashire have a bowling attack, including Matt Parkinson, who's one of the best spinners in the country, and James Anderson, and he was able to play out for a draw. So although he's exciting and he's able to play quickly and aggressively, he's also got that other side to his game. So he's looking really impressive. Benj, are there any other players that have stood out to you?
I've been impressed by Matty Potts for Durham. He got his career best of 7 for not a lot the other day. And yeah, looking really good, quite sharp. And I mean, it's Division 2, so he's not playing against the best batsman ever, but like Marnus Labuschagne's in that division, so like you can't knock it too much. It's always a thing with the county championship, like the Division 1, Division 2 split is very divisive. But Matty Potts has been looking good, and especially with the absolute raft of injuries to England fast bowlers recently, he's definitely putting himself in contention for it as well. Because aside from Broad and Anderson, there's not a lot of test match bowlers, of seamers who look available. We've just got an absolute host of injuries at the minute. The latest being Matt Fisher today. I mean, how do you think we're actually going to make a bowling attack?
Yeah, we've also lost Saqib Mahmood today, I think, wasn't it? He's got a stress fracture, so he's going to be out for the season. So, you know, all of the players that seem to be coming through that we've just given a go or whatever, they have now become injured. So, yeah, it'll be an interesting one, but hopefully it'll force us into actually giving Matt Parkinson a go, because he's bowled brilliantly. And that could be really interesting. Imagine if he just starts his career with an absolute flyer of a summer. That would be great. We'd love that. So, we don't need to be a four-seamer country anymore. We can have Broad Anderson, have Stokes, and then imagine the spin twins of Leach and Parkinson both playing, both scoring, and just doing amazing things.
I don't think that will happen, unfortunately. But and also like Matt Parkinson, he does need a go. I think that's what we've seen. Is he's needed to have a go because we didn't play him in West Indies, so it's kind of like, well, we have to play him this summer. But whether he does or he doesn't, who knows? Because Jack Leach has had more test experience, but with the new mindset, I guess, that comes through McCullum and Stokes and Rob Key to an extent, is the best players will play. And that's what we've seen. That's when Stokes said about we need Broad and Anderson back. The best players will play. And if Matt Parkinson is the best spinner in the country, he'll play. In my opinion, Ben Foakes, best keeper in the country. He played a good 90 odd the other day. He should play. And there's just little selections like that, which I think in the Silverwood era, we've been a bit conservative with our picks in terms of who's been the most experienced, and we were kind of forced in the West Indies to pick some newer players after the Silverwood era. But yeah, I just think having the likes of we've got to get Harry Brook into the team because he's playing so well. Like, it would be a no-brainer, wouldn't it? So yeah.
Well, exciting things to come for England, and we'll talk more about things not IPL as well as things IPL going forward. So thank you all for watching. I hope you've enjoyed. We've enjoyed talking about it. Obviously, we're three big England fans, so this is something we're passionate about. Don't forget to like and subscribe. You can listen to our podcasts on Anchor FM, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, and more. You can follow our social medias. We are at Cricket Nerds Pod, and tune in for tomorrow's episode, which will be a double podcast thing about the IPL. So yeah, we'll see you guys later.